Eu sou o Marcos Frank e diretamente de Copenhague, Dinamarca, o Cabal tem se firmado como uma das bandas de metal mais brutais e extravagantes dos últimos anos, com uma trajetória marcada por turnês internacionais que os levaram da Europa, América do Norte, Japão e Austrália, e participações em festivais icônicos como o Roskilde Festival, Copenhagen e Brutal Assault. A banda carrega a missão de redefinir os limites do metal extremo, misturando o peso do death metal, a energia do metalcore e do hardcore, e elementos de paisagens sonoras perturbadoras e música eletrônica sombria. O som do Cabal é visceral, esmagador e feito para criar caos. Sua jornada inclui colaborações com gigantes do metal como Matt Heafy, do Trivium, Jamie Hales, do Polaris, e Joey Bad, do For An Autopsy, consolidando seu nome como um dos maiores expoentes do gênero na atualidade. Agora com o lançamento do álbum Everything Rots, que foi lançado em abril de 2025 pela Nuclear Blast, e aqui no Brasil foi lançado em parceria com a Shinigami Records, o Cabal está mais feroz e focado do que nunca. O disco promete ser uma verdadeira incursão no som extremo, unindo riffs esmagadores, breakdowns implacáveis e devastações eletrônicas a emoções viscerais em letras que abordam temas como depressão, trauma e vícios. Hoje temos a honra de conversar com a banda para entender mais sobre essa nova fase, as inspirações por trás de Everything Rots e como eles transformaram a dor e as experiências humanas mais sombrias em música, que ressoa com fãs do metal ao redor do mundo todo. Sejam bem-vindos a Cabal. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you, Andreas.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Can you talk a little bit about how you guys started with metalcore, deathcore in Denmark?
Like how we started the band, or just like the genre in Denmark?
Like everything, like the idea of having a deathcore metalcore band in Denmark, because Denmark is country of King Diamond, right?
Yeah. It's Denmark is normally a bit more traditional when it comes to metal, but there's all like in my home. For me, it started in my hometown. We used to have a really good scene for like hardcore, punk, metalcore, all that like that kind of stuff. So I was going to shows since I was like 14. So and these were the kind of like bands that I really liked. I grew up with. Um, So I've always been a big fan of everything leaning towards core. Uh, so it kind of makes, and I've played in core bands since I was like 16. So over half of my life now. Uh, and yeah, so just obviously to me, it made a lot of sense to make a core band of my own with my friends.
And what are the bands that influenced you? Not only as
Uh,
a singer, but also as a band.
yeah, when we started out, like the band was very heavily influenced by bands like Black Tongue and Humanity's Last Breath was a big one as well.
Okay.
And Meshuggah was also our main songwriter, Chris. His favorite band is Meshuggah, so you can hear that in everything we do.
Yes, true.
No getting around that.
No, there's no way you can avoid that influence.
No, exactly. I think those were our main influences at first, and then as we evolved, like more stuff, we have changed the sound quite a bit from the first album. Now we are like, it's way more like direct hardcore core influences. Uh, Kublai Khan is one of my favorite bands. So that kind of like pure, like raw, like simplicity that they utilize, we are also very inspired by. Um, yeah, just basically everything that's heavy and groovy gets like,
And of Everything Rots will be released on 21st of March. And what are the expectations of this release? Is there like a specific track you love on this album that you're desperately in need to play live?
There's a few ones. I really want to play the title track live, just because it's one of my favorite on the album. It's just really heavy and groovy, and I think it would be really good for the mosh pit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The, the track Snake Tongues, that's gonna be the focus track that drops with the album. I'm really excited about, just because it's kind of different from everything else on the record. So I'm excited to see what people think about that. But basically, I'm just excited to play all of the songs. We played two of them live so far, and it's been the best reception we've ever had on anything. So we're like pretty sure that people are gonna vibe with the new stuff when we start playing it. So I'm just excited to play all the songs. That's basically it.
Is there like a concept behind Everything Rots?
Yeah, just that the idea is that everything good ends, everyone dies, everything rots. That's life.
This is such a basic concept for like a deathcore metalcore band.
Yeah.
And when the first song for the album, Become Nothing, sounds like an intro to the record.
It is.
Was it the idea of having this song to be an intro for this album, right?
Yeah. Uh, and it was also thought about, we've been playing it live for the last year actually as the intro, because it's great to kind of start out a set with. It really sets the tone. It's just like one riff for a minute and a half, just basically one long breakdown. So people kind of like, once we get through that, people know what they're getting into.
Wow. And when you compare your performance as a vocalist on Everything Rots when compared to Magno Interitus, would you say you got more brutal when you with your singing?
Yeah, a little bit. I would actually say I think I've gotten better at enunciating. So it might be, I hope it's clear to understand what I'm saying. Maybe not.
But it is better. You can hear it better, but still at some point, I
Oh
think
yeah,
there's so much noise going on that
yeah.
everything blends at some
Yeah,
point. But still, it is like the brutality itself. It's kind of hard to make a pronunciation perfect when it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
brutal, right?
yeah, exactly. So I'm trying my very best to make it like intelligible, but it's hard when I have to say go.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of you have to go into real hard study of pronouncing words, doing
Yeah,
something our voice is not used to do, right? It's like it's a growling voice. It's
yeah,
really
yeah,
hard.
yeah. But it's been
And
a fun exercise trying to really focus on that while also keeping it really brutal.
it is awesomely brutal. I
Thank you
kind
so
of
much.
it is kind of interesting to know that when you compare Cabal to other bands in your genre, it's pretty hard to find something that is similar. You just find it more brutal at some point. Like
Appreciate that.
there's like Motionless in White. Sometimes they have like someone singing at some point, and
Yeah. We have
Cabal
a
is
little
just
bit of that, but not
exactly,
much.
yeah. But
Yeah.
with Cabal, it's like something. It's like Carnifex. It's like pure aggressiveness.
Yeah. That's also what we aim to. Cabal is like it acts for me as a catharsis of me, like it's me dealing with a lot of bad shit in life. So I'm like, it has to be brutal because we are writing about some pretty dark shit. So
Yeah, and it is when you see like bands from Belgium, like Amendra, for example, they have like that pain on stage. You see they are in pain. It's like something. It's like catharsis, like you said. These guys are like feeling something on stage. Is it something that Cabal also has in mind when it comes to do that kind of performance on stage?
Yeah, I would say our performances are like very energetic. We put a heart and soul into it, like we do with the music. And the things I write about are real and stuff we've gone through. It's like based, yeah, on reality. Like it used when we started out, it was more like fictional and like conceptual. Now it's just more direct and about, yeah, real stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would like to use this moment that we're talking about lyrics, so you could talk a little bit about these lyrics you have on this record, since we still don't have the lyrics for us to read. It
Oh, you
would
don't?
be yeah, it would be interesting to have a little bit of an insight about your texts.
Oh, it's just some a lot of really. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
It's just a really dark bunch of dark shit. Like still cursed. It's about dealing with depression, which is something I've been dealing with a lot of my life, and feeling cursed because it's not something you just. It's something you have and live with, and then you work with it, but it's kind of always there. Uh, same. Then like uh, the song "No Peace" is about an experience I had. I found a guy who jumped from the roof of my building and was dying in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. So I was like, oh, I should probably write a song about this and work through those emotions that way. Um, yeah, and it's some of it, like a song about like hellhounds, is about consumerism, especially of the Western world, how and capitalism, how that's kind of a little bit the root of a lot of evil in this world, and it might be the end of like civilization as we know it if we keep going the way we do.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
so it's yeah about a lot of really bleak stuff.
Yeah, it is. And when you listen to the album, you can also see there's a lot of guests on the album. Jamie of
Yeah.
Viscera, Aaron from 1056, Matthew of Neste. Um, how was it like picking those singers to do something with you guys on this record?
This time around, like we've been touring so much, we know all of these guys. We've all toured together. We all friends. So a lot of time we would like listen to a song and be like, oh, wouldn't it be fucking sick if we could get Maddie to do this part because this part is really angry and I can really see it for me having his like voice on this part. Um, and yeah, so we just it's pretty easy. We just reached out to him, be like, hey, we wrote this song, we thought of you, want to jump on it?
Wow. And
Yeah,
and they decided to be part of it right away.
yeah, it's really cool. They're all the guests on this album are very talented. And we are like it's an honor for us to call them our friends, and it's an honor for them us to make music with them.
Awesome. And the videos for Cabal are also extreme as your texts. And I'm kind of surprised, like on End Times, having End Times as a reference, it was like more disgusting for you. How was it like
Oh,
recording that song?
it was so bad. I was in a coffin full of worms. It was not great. I had maggots on me crawling around. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was probably one of the worst things I've done in a video, and I've done a lot of bad, like horrible stuff to myself in videos.
I think that was the most extreme one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I
I've done
can't
a couple.
remind something on Magno Interitus that was that extreme this time.
No, no, I got a lot of like blood sprayed on me in Magnum
Yes,
exsanguination video, and there was like some dish soap in it to give it like the right texture, and got in my eyes, and that sucked. But the worms and maggots were worse, way worse.
and how did you came to this idea of using these elements on the video?
I don't know. I just feel like it's called everything rots, and what happens when things start rotting a lot of time, there'll be fucking like maggots in it. I was like, makes sense to have that.
It's interesting because is it something? I know a lot of bands that are metalcore bands or deathcore bands that are doing the videos themselves. They're filming it for themselves. And was this also something that you guys made up, or was it something that you guys had proposed to be like the idea of the video?
Oh, we did. So for this album, we've done all the videos ourselves as well. It's one of our friends called Maxim, who's a really good videographer. He films them and then I edit them.
Hmm.
Uh, and all the ideas for the videos are always my ideas. So that's also why I do all the
Why?
bad shit because I'm like I can't make anybody else do this. I have to do it myself because I can't. I'm not gonna put any of the guys through this shit.
Wow. And uh, and since we don't receive much information from Denmark, instead of it's a very cool country, it's expensive but still very cool. how is how's a band like Cabal do in your country?
Good. Like we do surprisingly well compared to what we thought when we started out. Like, because when we started out, I was pretty convinced. Like, oh, we like especially the first stuff we put out was like it's basically just breakdowns on breakdowns on breakdowns. And in a country where black metal and traditional death metal, uh, but like historically speaking, has been like dominant, I was like, most people are probably not gonna like this. But so, to our big surprise, people really liked it. We've continued to grow back here and say we have a pretty solid fan base, which is we are really appreciative. It's kind of surreal that people really like it.
Yeah, and it isn't interesting because we promoted Möll here in Brazil as
Yeah,
well.
great band
And
as well.
yeah, and you guys are older than Möll, right?
No, Müller is an older band than us.
Möll is older, but
Yeah,
still the same band as reference, right?
yeah. Uh, but yeah, Müller started out 2 or 3 years before us. But they didn't really become Müller, I think, in my honest opinion, until Kim joined. Uh,
Yeah, it's true.
they had another singer before him. But yeah, Kim is actually also on one of our songs on
Yeah, on
not
Magnum
my no
Tirtus.
no on Drag Me Down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I
So yeah,
thought I did not notice that.
he is on a song called "It Haunts Me."
Oh, but he's not credited, right?
He should be. I hope he is. He should
I
be.
hope
Yeah,
because I did write them down here
he
to
is
ask you about them, but I
on.
just have Jamie of Viscera, Aaron from 1056, Matthew of Neste, Joe
Yeah, but
of
that's on the new album.
oh, it's on Magnum Interitus.
No, everything rots.
Oh,
So Kim is on "Drag Me Down."
it's a single.
No, it's on the second album.
Oh, on the second album. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
It's not out at from. It's you have like so three album or four albums, right?
this is our fourth album. Yeah, but
Ah,
this is
okay.
our second one on Nuclear Blast.
Yeah. That's why I got messed up. I thought it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Sometimes it's just before nuclear blast, after nuclear
yeah,
blast.
exactly. That is how we view it. I feel like we didn't become a real proper band until we got signed by Nuclear.
Yeah, but it's so weird because I was researching Cabal, and there's a lot about the two recent albums, but not much about the two first ones.
No,
So
there's also on a much smaller label and stuff, and obviously Nuclear Blast is they know what they're doing, so there are a lot more press on the last album and this one.
yeah, and the last question would be, of course, with Nuclear Blast now being part of Cabal, and what is like, how do you see the future of this genre, not only in Europe but in the world? Because I see this style, this genre, being much bigger and much bigger every year that goes by.
Yeah, I hope the same thing. Like I feel like so far, at least for us, it's been growing and growing. I see a lot of other like cool bands do the same thing. So yeah, I just hope it continues. That's the thing.
Do you think that at some point Cabal will do something different or maybe more progressive like Meshuggah did at some
Uh,
point?
Probably not while I'm in the band, but maybe if I leave someday and they get a guy who can actually sing, there'll be a possibility.
No, you're just joking around. So this is a
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Okay, Andreas. This is the
yeah.
end of the interview. I will stop it here.